Hi class, this is Discrimination 2. The discrimination laws that I'm going to talk about right now in particular are the ADEA, which requires an employer not to discriminate against somebody over the age of 40, and the ADA, the American with Disabilities Act. Now, as far as discrimination laws, I told you before that there are two types of discrimination. I'm not sure why we do it this way because lots of times it's confusing, but we do, so you have to know the law. BFOQ is a defense for intentional discrimination. And as I told you on the first tape, many times, like for instance, police officers, firefighters after the age of 55, they can't be those jobs anymore. Now, disparate impact is the only defense is business necessity. And that, as I told you before, could be a job requirement that's essential to the job. Now let's look at the ADEA over 40. What you have to establish as the employer is we have job requirements and the person can't do those. That would be impact. If you said a person over 50 simply cannot do the job, then that would be treatment. Now with the ADA, a lot of people think this is too complicated for them, but it's not. The American with Disabilities Act basically says that a person, and these are the terms you got to remember, that they have a long-term disability, okay? I should have put this in here too. They have a long-term disability, they can do the essential functions of the job, and then we say with or without a reasonable accommodation. So that could mean a ramp up to your place so that the wheelchair could get up there. That could mean that you have a certain kind of screen on the computer. And the way that they figure out a reasonable accommodation is your business versus how much it will cost. Remember, however, that personal accommodations are not required of the employer. And that would be something like glasses, it would be the wheelchair itself, it would be a cane, etc. Those are personal accommodations the person has to take care of. Now I'm going to give you two examples that I think are going to be part of your career. One is Alzheimer's disease, and the second is high-functioning alcoholics. With Alzheimer's disease, let's take, for instance, Pat Summitt. Pat Summitt started to realize near the end of her career that something was wrong. She and her son went and they found out she had Alzheimer's disease. Very quickly, the University of Tennessee had a decision to make. When does Pat Summitt, the most famous basketball coach, when does she go? And they go back and forth, and finally they realize the kind of mind that you need in order to be that kind of coach, she's already lost it. So in that sense, the essential functions of the job, she can't do. And that's required under the ADA in order to go after someone, an employer. They can do them. And here, Pat Summitt agrees, I can't do them. So she's no longer protected by the Act. But the problem you're going to have is it might not be as clear for your employees. The disease is insidious, and it grows over time. And so you're going to have to be able to show the person can't do the essential functions of the job due to the disease. The other is the high-functioning alcoholic. Myself, I didn't even know what that was until it was brought to my attention in a legal case. High-functioning alcoholics are folks that drink at night, maybe drink at functions, and they are so good at their job, you have no idea that they're drinking so much at night. What happens eventually, however, is it all comes tumbling down. They're in your car after function and they smash into somebody. They perhaps fall and break their neck, and you have to pay for the broken neck. In those situations, especially if they harm somebody, you're on the line as the employer. So you have to realize that you can't get off the hook by saying, hey, they're high-functioning alcoholic, I didn't know they were. High-functioning alcoholics, people that drink a lot, people that come in smelling of alcohol, you have to deal with that problem. But is that person using alcohol, are they covered by the ADA? No. Not if they're presently drinking, only if they've stopped drinking for a significant period of time. So it's very important for you to spell out the job requirements, have them in writing, and update them on a regular basis. Your job requirements are going to dictate what are your essential functions of the job. Thank you very much.